Okay. Any questions you want to know? No? Sorry, yeah. Okay, don't tell me I cannot share it with you in the class. Okay? Okay, you know why, right? Okay, but I don't mind you share it with each other. Okay? Okay, and maybe I would like to take some time to discuss with you some basic concept, which is very abstract. Okay, it's not so easy to get into it, but I still want to discuss with you, and maybe this will give you more questions than answers. Because this is not from architecture. This is more from a kind of understanding for me when I get to know more about digital technology, computer science, okay? And I get some inspiration from so many years, okay? And I want to share with you. So this slide is called Generative Modeling and Heuristic Design Method, the background and the concept. Okay. Oh, sorry, I forget to introduce myself, and my name is Shen Guang. Shen Guang is my first name, okay? And Shi is my last name. I've been teaching in this department for how many years? Since 1994, so it's almost 25 years. Okay, design method is an aged issue. This drawing is from Palladio. You know who is Palladio? Kevin, you know who is Palladio? Yeah? Who is Palladio?
No, I don't know.
Italian architect, maybe?
Oh, yeah. Okay, Italian architect from which century?
I think maybe Renaissance.
Yeah, Renaissance. Yeah, maybe like I think it's 15.
Yeah, like
Kind of
Florence.
15.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
Florence era or
I would
something.
say,
Yeah,
late Renaissance era of architecture history. Okay, actually, this drawing, when I had my PhD study for my qualification exam, I need to take the subject architecture history. And at that time, I was in Switzerland, and the professor was an expert. He's an expert in the architecture history, especially for Renaissance and Baroque architecture. And he showed me one picture from one book, showed me a drawing by Palladio, which is not this one, because I don't remember which one is that. But later, when I prepared this talk, I try to find one which is similar, okay? And he opened that book and showed me a drawing from Palladio and asked me one question, which is kind of a question for my PhD qualification exam. He said, what do you think especially is special in this drawing? Can you see something you think is? Because my focus of study is computer-aided design. So he knows that. He's an expert in architecture history, but he knows that my research topic is about computers. So he intendedly using this drawing to ask me the question, what do I mean, from my aspect of view, what do I think is special in this drawing? Can you think of anything? Of course, there is no standard answer, right? Everyone can have his opinion. I just want to know, what do you think? Okay, anyway, let's go back to this slide. Design method is a very old issue, which has been discussed maybe for centuries. But why are we rethinking it? There's a hint in this slide. Kevin, have I talked with you about this? Okay, so you know the answer. Okay. Anyone else? You recognize the hint? You see the hint? I try to take your attention. You get it? Why are we rethinking it? Anyone? Why did I use a different color for the last word? Which is, okay, 嘉怡 here, 林嘉怡 No? 戴荣 朱瑾 Yeah, 朱瑾 What do you think? Why I use red color for the last word? What do I want to say by doing that? Huh? 随便你。你可以用中文啊，台语也可以，讲台语嘛会使。嗯 ？Yeah, of course. 那我要探讨什么？ How do you spell it? How do you spell this word in red? IT, and what IT means? Information technology. Okay? So I'm happy that I think of this because this sentence has actually double meaning, right? It is also a question, but it is the answer as well. Okay? So I want to tell you, when we look at this drawing, which might have been done like some 500 years ago, but now we look at this drawing and we think of design method, somehow we have different things comes up. So we rethink it. We rethink what is design method. The reason is the advances of information technology. The kind of information technology that Palladio had in 500 years ago is different from what we have now. So why we have to follow the same design method as Palladio did? Why can't we have different design methods based on more advanced information technology? So this is the kind of question I want you to have in mind and to think about, okay, in this class. And in this class, we try to help each other to find what is the best or better design method where we can make use of more advanced information technology Okay, but I would like to also to emphasize this through this drawing, which is Palladio. He knew information technology very well. Maybe not as advanced as us, but he knew it very well. Okay, information technology does not come with computers only. Information technology was there thousands of years ago, or even longer. Okay, Palladio knew it very well, and that was the reason why my PhD qualification exam committee, this professor, I think he's called Professor Exling. Yeah, he wanted me to look at this drawing and answer his question. What do I think most special in this drawing? Because in this drawing, it shows that Palladio were using digital technology. Where is that? From where you can see it? He put dimensions on it. Okay? Many people mistaken the meaning of digital. Okay? When you want to represent things based on discrete representation, discrete means something which is not continuous, then it is digital. It doesn't matter if you use computer or not. Palladio did not use computer, but he used digital representation to represent what he has in mind for his design, so that he put dimensions on the drawing. Okay, you can recognize that, right? Because although we cannot see it clearly, but you know that there are dimensions. Okay, there are numbers showing the measurement of distance on the drawing. Indeed, in this drawing, he integrates two types of technology. One is called analogical representation and the digital representation. Analogical representation is the scale of the drawing. He drew a line, maybe like 1 centimeter, but if this is a 1 to 100 scale drawing, then this will represent 1 meter, right? 100 centimeters, using 1 centimeter of line in the drawing. Okay? But this measurement is continuous. Okay? No matter how good was he cannot draw exactly perfectly 1 centimeter in length, right? There will be always some displacement. Okay? So when the worker on the job site or the engineer on the job site try to scale it up, if he had to measure the line using some ruler, can it be mistaken? Maybe after he built up the column, it becomes 105 centimeters instead of exactly 100 centimeters. Because when he tried to measure the drawing, somehow there was a displacement. Okay? It is very likely. But how about if Palladio put the dimensional? Then it will not be mistaken. Because this is digital representation. It is based on some discrete measurement of media that we can use to record information. I would call them media of information. Okay? I think I have to go quicker. Otherwise, this is going to take very long. Okay? The next issue, I would like to share with you or pose some question to you. We have to think about what is information. I like very much the translation of information into Chinese in China, not in Taiwan. Okay? In Taiwan, we translate it into 资讯, which I don't think it makes sense. Okay? But in China, it is translated into 信息. Right? For you, if you know Chinese, then you know 信 and 息, right? 信 means believe. 息 means message. So 信息 together means a message which is to be believed. Okay? This is the essence of information. Okay. Why I use this photo? Okay. Oh, sorry, I forget to think of the break. But if you need some break, you just go ahead. Okay, don't worry, you don't have to let me know. You just go ahead. You need to get out to have a drink, to go to the toilet, or to have your cigarette. You just go ahead. Anyway, I have recorded everything. Okay, so if you worry that you might miss something, then you just go back to watch the video. Okay, no problem. So this, anyone who recognize this photo, what is this? You know what is this? Traditional ruler, right? Called 鲁班尺. Okay, and what are the signs they put on this? I cannot read it because the photo is not so clear. But anyway, even if I can read it, I don't know what's its meaning. But I know what they are for. Okay, this will mark the dimension which are good or bad, right? So the carpenter will follow this measurement to make furniture, to make the doors, to make the windows, something like that. Okay? Because they and their client believe that if they don't follow this measurement, that will bring them good luck or bad luck, right? So this is to believe. If they don't believe this, they won't follow this measurement, right? They just take a piece of timber and then make a door with a frame which is different from any other carpenters. But then the sizes won't fit because they don't follow the same module. Okay? But how about if they all believe in this ruler? They all believe that they have to follow this rule so that will bring good luck to their client. Then all carpenters will follow the same measurement, right? So that their work will be compatible with each other. So that will make their teamwork more efficient. Okay? So this is a successful communication. And the successful communication is based on good information. And the essence of information consists of two parts. One is the message. The second part is the message to be believed. Okay? This is very important. Okay? Because great mathematicians use this to build up the most important fundamental theory for information science. Okay. Okay, we have chess and Go. Anyone who play Go? Haven't you played Go? No? No? Anyone play Go? But how about chess? Neither? Maybe it's video game, right? Okay, but you know more or less Go, right? If I want you to think which one is more like design, architecture, if I try to make analogy between this kind of board game to design, which one is more like architecture? You know this game, this person called Wu Qingyuan is the gold master from, and then from your, he's from 福建，我不知道福建哪里，但他是福建人，福州吗？Okay, Wu Qingyuan. He's the gold master from China, and this game, he played this game with the Japanese master at the age of 17, I think. And he lost just a little bit, which is very smart because in that situation, he shouldn't won the game. So we never know he intended to really lose that game or he just lost it. Okay, anyway, but this game is so famous because he played it in a very innovative way. Okay. If you know, go a little bit here, the first stone he put here in this very corner part, and then the Japanese master react with this one, okay? And then the third one, Wu Qingyuan play here. This is typical. This one is typical, but the first one here is not at all typical. Okay. And the third one is even more crazy. He put here. Okay, but anyway, I want you to, even if you don't know Go at all, but I want you to get the feeling that this is a very abstract game. You can hardly make sense of it. Okay, because it is so complicated, it's so complex. So you can never expect the outcome after a few hints. It is so abstract. It's the most abstract game I know. It's a board game. But on the opposite way, chess or like Chinese xiangqi, it's very clear, very well defined. We have so many pieces, and every piece, the way you can move your piece is defined, very well defined. Go is also very well defined because you know what are the locations that you can put. But the game itself is so abstract. But abstraction, the meaning of abstraction, what is the meaning of abstraction? Lack of information. Okay? When we have what does it mean by abstraction? This is not abstract, right? But a cube is a cube, abstract or not abstract. What is the opposite of that? Realistic. I will not say realistic. This is not abstract because we have all the information. Okay? But if I show you coin, a cube, this can be a building, right? Or can be a box, or can be a chair. Okay? But this is abstract because you lack of the information about the material, about the size, okay, about many things. But in some cases, abstraction is a better means for our thinking. Because in some cases, we don't want to carry so much information when these are not essential. We want to take abstractions so that we can think more efficiently. Because our brain is very limited. We can only handle some certain amount of information. Okay? So if everything we need to think of, every time you have all these details in your mind, then we can call it information overflow. If this happened to a computer, what will happen? It crashes. Okay? Just like you try to read a file which is too large, then sometimes you found that your computer is keep on hanging on and doing nothing. Okay? Our brain will happen something like this as well when you try to process too much information. So abstraction is very, very important. But in some other cases, abstraction is also very, very difficult for us. When you think of playing Go, you are looking at a blank board with no stones on it. And how can you place the first one? Or your opponent has placed the first one, and then you have to react with another one. And the entire board, which has almost 400 different locations where you can place your stone, and which one to react. This is a situation with very limited information, and you have to make decision. But somehow this decision is very crucial to your success. Okay? Isn't this very similar to design? At the beginning, you have your job site. Maybe you have some information about the surrounding, the road, the trees, the rivers, the neighboring buildings. Okay? But then your job site, maybe there are some trees on it, which you think you shouldn't cut it down. Okay? But then you have not much information to think about. So it's like playing Go. Okay, now we want to rethink design method, right? Okay, so I just use Google, and then I use the keyword called design method. And this is the first page, the result that I found in one search. Okay, I don't want you to see it clearly. Okay, it is too small anyway. But do you recognize something in common with this diagram, which represent design method? Find something in common? You see the arrows? And the direction of these arrows shows something?
Process, maybe.
Process, okay. Yes, and what kind of processes? Specifically in directions?
Maybe a cycle, a repetition.
Yeah, cycles, right? There are a lot of cycles. So from this, actually, we can recognize cycles is a very common thing in design method. Okay. Okay, if we go on. If I would like to talk about what in the cycle, this is very typical. Okay. We go from one stage to another stage. Okay, from the left-hand side, it's a more abstract stage. Okay, from right to left, which means we reduce the level of abstraction, or we bring more information to our design. Okay, for example, we think of this as like in the site planning stage. On the left-hand side, we have no idea about how the building mass should be placed. What is the shape of the building and how large is the building? What's the dimension? But on the right-hand side, after we finish our site planning, we will have the information about the building, the shape of the building, the size of building, something like that, right? Okay, and the process in between should be something like a cycle, okay? And inside this cycle, first we have to make design decision anyway, okay, on the top. And then we bring this decision, we go through some evaluation process to see if this is a good design or not, okay? And then we go on this cycle for many, many times until we feel that we are about to reach our best decision, okay? Or the time is up, okay? Tomorrow you have to present this to your client and you have no time, then anyway you have to make your decision. So you come up with more information. So from left to right is the process of adding information to your design. But then in between, you have to go through the cycle, and what marks the cycle is design decision and design evaluation. So actually, we talk about heuristic design method is based on this basic diagram. Okay. Okay, I think I shouldn't go through all of this. I will continue on next week. Okay. So if we make it more clear, on the left-hand side, we present. Okay, I think I go through this next week. Okay. I don't think it's a good idea to, because today that's supposed to be only the course introduction. And some of you may decide to take or not to take this class, or you may need to go to another classroom for some other courses. Okay, but I want you to have a rough idea what we want to talk about. Okay, and we want to think of the design method based on the advances of information technology and the tool, which I think is a very good tool for us to do some practice on it, is Rhino and Grasshopper. Okay, so I hope that after this explanation, you have rough idea. I'm not sure, or maybe I make you more confused, perhaps. Okay, but anyway, any questions or expectation? Yuting. Yuting is Yuting. Yeah. Some questions? No? If you try to think of some questions. Okay. No questions. Okay, so I can stop recording here.